Let's bring in Pete Williams now, our justice correspondent who was at that news conference. Pete, I suppose we're not going to expect to see any Russians in handcuffs here, so what's the power of these indictments and what happens now?
Right. Other Russians have been indicted. Recall, this is the second case against Russians for some sort of computer-related attack. And then outside the connection of the Mueller investigation, there have been other charges like that. No, the Russians are not going to cooperate in arresting them. Rod Rosenstein said he looks forward to their apprehension. That's not likely to happen. But by filing these charges, it makes it very difficult for these folks these 12 people, to ever travel outside of Russia. Or a country that doesn't cooperate with Interpol, because if they do, they'll be arrested. There'll be red notices put out on them, and it limits their travel. To some extent, it may also limit the ability of them to access any funds that they have outside of Russia or any funds that are in the West. One of the interesting things I thought in the news conference, Lester, was the Deputy Attorney General saying this information was passed through to an American or to another entity, which he declined to name. I guess the big question is whether that was WikiLeaks. That's certainly been the supposition. And then finally, Lester, I would also say that the deputy spent a lot of time not looking at his notes, talking about the need for bipartisanship. He's certainly been on the receiving end of some pretty harsh criticism from Congress. And then yesterday you had the spectacle of that hearing with the former FBI agent Peter Strzok before the House that went on for hours during the day. And he's obviously trying to be above all that and saying, in essence, to his congressional critics, come on, let's get on the same team. It's not you versus us. It's the U.S. trying to defend itself from this overseas attack on the election, Lester.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.